guys, how's it going? Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me today. I wanted to share with you a simple garden project I'm doing today. Just putting some ground cover creeping thyme along my walkway. So if you've been following my channel, you know that I recently redesigned my front garden and I kind of added some flagstones and I created a couple of paths into my garden spaces for access. And I have put these stones on, and I could have put more mulch around the stones, but I actually want to have something like a living mulch around the stones so that it softens the edges and it looks really nice. I actually found 4 plants of red creeping thyme at Costco today. I was out for some groceries and I stumbled upon these. I've been actually wanting to add creeping thyme in this spot, and when I saw these, I got 4 of these because actually will divide these before I put it in different spots. This is a big chunk of creeping thyme in a container, so it was really good value for the amount of thyme that I got. And this particular variety is called a red creeping thyme, and it is good for heavy traffic and it loves sun. So each plant will only grow about 4 inches in height, and it will spread to about 10 inches, and it is going to flower in June and July, which is perfect. And it likes sun. I think the more sun it gets, the better it's going to flower. And it has a trailing habit with aromatic leaves and purple pink flowers from June to July. It's excellent as a ground cover for edging, rock gardens, and between flagstones. So as you can see, this is already flowering a bit, and can you just imagine once this carpets this area and blooms, it's going to look really, really pretty. I just love how delicate these blooms are, and I already have like a geranium that's in here, so it's going to mingle really well with whatever else is in here. And I actually will be dividing 2 of these plants and spreading it in this area, mostly in the middle where it's difficult to grow anything, and let it spread out from there. And then I also have another flagstone walkway that is on this side, so I'll be using 2 of the plants to kind of do something similar here. So I'll probably just put some in the middle over there, and a few divisions around these stones just to soften it up, and mainly also because if I don't have anything there and I don't have mulch, I mean, I've been weeding this spot a lot, so I think it'll be good to get something started, although it's going to take some time to establish. But I think it will, in the long term, it will be a good thing to add this and kind of get started with it this year. And it's a perfect day to do so as well because it rained. The ground is really soft, and I'm excited to find these plants and kind of add them in this spot. And in this video, I'm also going to attach some other sun perennials that I have added to my front garden bed. You may have seen some of them in my weekly garden tour, but I didn't really share those plants and the details with you. And I actually recorded that earlier, but I didn't get a chance to post that recording of the details around those plants, and I will attach it to this video as well, so that you kind of know the changes that I'm making to my front garden bed and the things that I have been adding. I just want to take a moment and show you this beautiful peony that's blooming. Isn't that gorgeous? It's so beautiful. So yeah, I think it's going to be really a good afternoon for me to spend a few minutes and get these plants in the ground. I will be dividing them, like I said, and putting bits of them around the flagstone. And once I'm all done, I'll show you what this looks like. And also wanted to share with you, as I was at picking up a coffee at Starbucks, I also picked up a bag of these grounds for the garden. So they are free at any Starbucks, and they usually have these packaged by the door somewhere where you mix your milk and sugar in your coffee. So these are usually around that area. If not, you should ask the barista about them. I usually pick up these bags from there, and I like to scatter them around my garden, usually around azaleas or rhododendrons or hydrangeas. You can, because they do prefer acidic soil, so I kind of like to spread them around the soil, and they don't really have too much acid in them because they're used beans, used coffee grounds. So it's really just adding some organic material in your garden, and you can literally spread it in any of your beds. And I typically have also put them around my roses. So but this one I will specifically scatter it around my Nova Zembla rhododendron, which is really blooming well right now. So just wanted to share this with you. I mean, if you're around and you kind of go into Starbucks, maybe you will see this and pick one up for your garden if you would like to add it to your garden. So yeah, so I'm going to get started and get planting this creeping thyme and get it in the ground and get it started in the spot, and I'll show you when it's planted in and what that looks like. You can see this plant is quite dense, it's thick, and don't be scared to kind of rip it apart and make it into smaller pieces and put it around. So that's what I've done. Like, I've already put in 3 pieces in this spot, so I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to remove it and pull it apart, and keep planting around this walkway, and I'll show you when it's all done. I'm done with the planting of the creeping thyme, and I wanted to show you what that looked like. I've kind of taken pieces of the thyme and I've kind of spread it out in this pathway here, and hoping that it's going to eventually creep and fill in the spots. And I was actually quite brutal with the one pot, and made several pieces from it. As you can see, it is doing well, and it does not really like a lot of soggy soil, so I haven't really given it a lot of water. It did rain yesterday, and I also noticed that a lot of it was kind of dry and black in the center, and I think that's because these plants were very overwatered at the nursery, and they just need a little bit of time to kind of recover. As you can see, there is a lot of like dark centers, and I'm finding that some of this soil here tends to heave a bit. So but I think overall these are going to spread and do their thing in this path, like I hope. And even if some of them take and spread, I'm fine with that, because I kind of like mixing in different things anyways. So I will probably add some more low growing sedum and other things here as well eventually. But I think these will, once the weather warms and it's drier, they will do a lot better, and it's going to be a great addition in this spot. And I'll also show you what I did on this other walkway. I also broke pieces of them and added it along this walkway here as well. So hopefully it will fill in and it'll spill in eventually and look more natural. But right now it kind of looks like a little piecemealing these containers. But I think just planting that whole big clump would have been too much for the one spot. So I think eventually I'm hoping they will settle and grow fast. Maybe in a couple of years they will start to kind of fill in and do their thing. So with that, I just wanted to thank you so very much for watching this video and coming along with me as I have been adding a lot of plants to this front garden, and everything is coming to life. And I hope you found this video useful. Do give me a thumbs up and let me know you know, if you've liked watching this video and the plant suggestions that I have here, and also the plants that I've been adding to this front garden bed. It's really coming to life, and it's looking really really good with all the plants. They are doing really well, and things are blooming and slowly coming to life in my garden. So thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. This here is called a Rock and Grow Pure Joy. So this is again a hybrid sedum. It is a shorter variety, and look at this beautiful blooms that it has. So this one is a low-growing, semi-upright sedum that looks terrific, planted in mass near the front of a border or in containers. Its compact, light green foliage becomes completely covered by a dome of bubblegum pink flowers late in the season, followed by deeper pink seed heads in the fall. It's a beautiful plant for little effort. So it performs best in full sun and poor to average well-drained soil. Do not enrich the soil when planting. Fertilization and supplemental water is not necessary for good growth. So it's a great kind of a plant for just put it in the ground and forget about it, and it's a beautiful plant. So I have two of these, and these are their growth habit is about 10 to 12 inches tall, and it's going to form a mound of about 20 inches, so a good size, and it's hardy in zones 3 to 9. So bloom time is late summer through early fall. So it's going to be a late bloomer, and it's nice. I love how this is more delicate and lower, and this sedum is called Pure Joy. I love the name. Actually, it's the one that drew me to kind of look at the stats and details on this plant, and also these beautiful bubblegum pink flowers. So the next plant that I wanted to share with you is this one here. So this one is called Pardon My Rose Monarda. So this one is again a proven winners plant. It's a Monarda that has these vibrant pink color, which I really love, and it is it's basically a short Monarda. It's only going to get about 18 inches tall, and 14 to 18 inches tall, and it's going to spread about 22 to 28 inches, and it's a perennial in zones 4 to 9, so quite hardy, and it is going to bloom midsummer to late summer. And tuck the sweet and compact perennial in the front of your flower border, where it'll create a beautiful edge of intense rose pink flowers in high summer. Butterflies adore it. So bee balm there's so many hybridized varieties now, and I kind of wanted to add this one in my front garden border because it's a shorter, more compact variety, and it's going to look stunning. So the next plant that I actually got 3 of these. These are lamb's ear plants. I do not have them in my front garden, and I kind of wanted to add them because of their beautiful soft foliage and texture and the blue-green color. So this is a Helene Weinstein lamb's ear. It's also known as big ear. So bloom time for this one is midsummer. It needs full sun, and it prefers well-drained soil, and the height on this one can be up to 3 feet, so 2 to 3 feet tall. So it's a taller variety, so maybe a good idea to plant a little bit in the back or middle of the border. And it's hardy in zones 4 to 9. So bold silver foliage, ideal as a ground cover or accent plant, striking in an all-white themed garden for contrast with vibrant colors, or to help blend plants of different colors in the garden. Excellent variety for hot, humid areas, and it has lilac flowers. Like, I'm not really planting it for its flowers. It's mostly for this beautiful foliage and textural interest in the garden. So soft, and it's so beautiful, this one. So the next plant that I'm adding is a Gaillardia. So this is a red starburst Gaillardia. So this is beautiful. It's a yellow color which I don't have in my garden right now, in my front garden a lot of. So I like pops of yellow in the garden because they draw your eye and it's really striking in the garden. So blanket flower, this one is a called red starburst, and it's valuable in the summer border for their long season of bloom. They form a low mound of silvery green leaves bearing upright stems of large daisy type flowers. This selection, part of the Spin Top series, features bold yellow petals with contrasting dark red bases surrounding a brown button center, late spring through fall. So it's going to get only about 12 inches tall, and it's going to be about 16 inches spread, and it's hardy from zones 3 to 9, so extremely hardy, and it grows in normal or sandy, gravelly, dry, well-drained soil. So you water well until it's established. And this plant already has a lot of blooms on it, and I have a couple of these plants that I will be adding. And then the other plant that was interesting that I was able to get is this beautiful pink diamonds dicentra. So I've never seen a bleeding heart with this kind of foliage, and I was very excited to find this one. So this is a plant that also can go in full sun or part sun, and this one is a fern-leaved bleeding heart called Pink Diamonds by Proven Winners. It is a shorter variety. It's only going to get about 16 inches tall, and it's going to spread about 18 inches, and it's a perennial in zones 3 to 9, and it's going to bloom late spring to early fall. So what I liked about this particular variety is that it's long blooming. It's not like the traditional bleeding heart that's only going to bloom once in the spring and then it dies back. So it gets two-tone pink flowers. They are produced above fern-like blue-green foliage all season long. So that just, you know, got me. So unlike other bleeding hearts, this alpine plant thrives in full sun to part shade and well-drained soils. Do not plant in heavy clay soils. So again, this was a perfect choice for my front garden because it does get a lot of sun, and I think it will be exciting to see this plant bloom all summer right from spring. So these are the blooms on it. Very pretty, very dainty, and I'm excited to see this one bloom. So I have a couple of these plants, and then the other plant that I got was, I only got one of these because they only had one of these left, but I picked this up anyways. This is the Paint the Town Red Dianthus. So this is again a Proven Winners plant, and it's already blooming this pretty vibrant pink, which I love. And this one is features bright colored perennial, produces single deep magenta red flowers atop a low mound of glaucous blue foliage. Use it to edge sunny borders and pathways. It grows best in full sun to light shade and loose, well-drained, neutral to alkaline soil, tolerates dry soil for short periods. And it is only going to get 6 to 8 inches tall, and it's going to form a mound of up to 18 inches. So full sun to part sun, and 4 to 9 is the zone. So it is early summer bloomer, and it's going to rebloom in early fall again, which is exciting. So this is the beautiful Paint the Town Red Dianthus. I haven't really had a lot of luck with Dianthus, so I kind of wanted to add one of them and see how it's going to do in my garden, and if I love it, I might add another one in the future. And the other plant that I got is a Penstemon. So this one is called a Midnight Masquerade Penstemon. So this is also a full sun perennial. It has beautiful, let me just move a little bit so I can show you. It has beautiful purple foliage. It is again a taller perennial. It gets about 3 to 4 feet tall, and it's going to be hardy from zones 3 to 8, and it's going to have a spread of about 32 inches. It's a perfect landscape perennial. Deep burgundy purple leaves look attractive all season long and form tall, full, and refined habit. Rich lavender purple flowers with pure white interiors top the foliage on dark stems. So it's a great plant for also hummingbirds. So again, it's an easy to grow perennial, performs best in full sun and dry to average well-drained soil, and it's to be mulched lightly in winter. So this is a midnight masquerade beard tongue or Penstemon. So excited to add this one. I love the blooms on it, and this one is already blooming, so I love the blooms on this one. It's gorgeous. And the last plant that I'm adding is this Amsonia. This one is called string theory Amsonia. So this one is also a full sun perennial. It kind of has a vase shape, and I love how it looks. So this one is going to get 18 to 22 inches tall, so not too tall, and it's going to be it's going to have a spreading habit, so about 3 feet in spread, and it's going to be hardy from zones 4 to 9, and can be planted in full to part sun, and it blooms from late spring to early summer. So a spring flowering perennial that provides foliage and texture interest throughout summer. Light periwinkle blue flowers are produced above dark green threadleaf leaves. And I think this one also has a beautiful fall color. I think it gets a really nice yellow fall color. So it doesn't mention it here, but I think I've read that it does get a nice fall color. So this is what the blooms look like. They're beautiful stars and beautiful light periwinkle blue color. And the last plant that I wanted to share with you is this one. So this one is called Crystal Spires Crystal Blue Salvia. So this is again a perennial, and it is a full sun perennial and has beautiful periwinkle kind of blue blooms. I have 2 of these already in my garden, so I just am adding a few more. So it gets about 18 to 20 inches tall and about 24 to 26 inches wide. It's perennial in zones 3 to 8, and it is going to bloom late spring into early summer. Sorry, this tag is really dirty. So this is, it's going to get cool sky blue flowers atop neatly mounded aromatic foliage. Lovely when planted in drifts, and it attracts butterflies and hummingbirds. And it's easy to grow in any climate, in full sun, drought tolerant. And yeah, that's it. And you can cut back, and that'll promote rebloom once it's done blooming. So it's a good one to plant with these companions. So you can plant it with Nepeta, Lycanthemum, Sedum, Achilles, Coreopsis, Iris, Dianthus, Baptisia. So really excited to add all of these plants in my garden today, and that's everything. Oh, I have a Okra here as well that I wanted to share with you. So this one is called a dressed up evening gown Okra. So this is, again, can take sun or shade, and this one here is going to get 12 to 14 inches tall, and it's going to get about 24 inches wide, and it's hardy in zones 4 to 9, and it can go from sun to shade. So huge glossy black leaves, incredibly ruffled to form a substantial habit. Large flower scapes hold pink buds and open into white flowers. So I'm going to add, it thrives in part shade but will grow in sun or shade, and it need to plant it in humus-rich, well-drained soil. Trim back tattered foliage in early spring, and it's salt tolerant. So it's a great plant to add. I love the big bold black leaves, and I don't think it has blooms yet, but I think it's starting to get one of them here. So really excited to add these plants in my garden today, and thank you again for joining me today. It was a pleasure to share all of these plants with you. And with that, I just wanted to thank everyone for watching this video and coming along with me and joining me today. So thank you again, and have a fabulous day wherever you are joining me from, and I'll catch you in my next video.